All right, so Mr. Harmless here again, and we're doing the second half of this study guide, Similar Polygons study guide, and this is the second little set of notes, okay? All right, so you can use scale factors and proportions to find missing side lengths in similar polygons. Now, we've already done some things that are similar to this or very much like it. Now, if these two polygons are similar, and I can tell what matches up with what by the angles being congruent, I know that I could pair up all these sides together and make a proportion. Now, I'm trying to find one side, so I definitely know I'm going to use this side right here, ST, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, the side that matches up with it would be, since there's one arc here and there's two arcs there, 1, 2, the 13 goes with it. So the X goes with the 13. Okay. Now, I could, for this next ratio, I could go, this 38 would match up with the Y, but then I've got an X and a Y in my problem. That's going to be confusing. So let's go up here. The 32 matches up with the 16, doesn't it? One arc, 3 arcs, one arc, 3 arcs. 32 matches up with the 16. So notice now, before I write the third ratio, notice just with this proportion right here, I have one unknown, this X. This is solvable, right? I can solve this by cross multiplying. Now, let's go with the other one. The Y, okay, now notice I already figured out this 32 to the 16 matches up, right? I can do this. Actually, you know what? Instead of putting that right there, notice you go, wait a minute, Mr. Arnold, we haven't finished the problem yet. You're right, I know. I like to do this. I like to set up all the problems I need to work out and then work them all out. I know that the 32 matches up with the 16. I also have this Y to find. So the 32 with the 16, and then the 38 with the Y. Notice I'm consistent completely with all of these ratios set up with this triangle. Any side from this triangle is going in the numerator. Any side from this triangle is going in the denominator. But notice when I do this, look I've got here. I have two equations. This one only has an X. This one only has a Y. I can solve these problems. All right, so now I am going to simplify before I cross multiply here, because I know that this 32 and the 16, I know that 16 goes in both those. 16 goes in 32 twice, goes into this once, right? So now when I cross multiply, this will be a little bit easier. 2 times 13 is 26. X times 1 is X. Okay, so the 2 times 13 goes on this side of the equation. The X times the 1 goes on this side of the equation. Notice I'm already done solving it. X equals 26. It's going to be just as easy with this one because this 32 and the 16 goes into both of those. 16 goes into that. 16 goes into this. 16 goes into 16 once. 16 goes into 32 twice. Now I'm going to cross multiply. 2 times Y. 38 times 1. So the 2 times Y goes on this side. The 38 times 1 goes on this side. And I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And so I get Y equals 38 divided by 2. Let's see, 2 goes into 38. I should grab my calculator, but I think I can do this in my head. 2 goes into 38. Let's see how many times that's going to be. I think 19 times. 19 times 2, 38. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so there I've got my X is 26. My Y is 19. So this is where the similar polygons become useful because if the shapes are similar, if you've got one pair of sides that matches up, you should be able to find any of the other missing sides by using these proportions. Let me do the second example. This one says they're similar, find the scale factor and the perimeter, okay? We'll talk about this part in just a second, okay? Finding the perimeter. Let's first find the scale factor. Let's see if we got anything that matches up. This 12, I don't know what it matches up with. The 8 matches up with this 12. Okay, so these sides match up, right? 2 arcs, 3 arcs, 2 arcs, 3 arcs. So the 8 matches up with the 12. And so since I need to find the scale factor, you only need one of those to find the scale factor. Even if there was other numbers, I wouldn't have to go any further. 8 goes with the 12, and so let me simplify this down. 8 goes in, well, let's see, 4 goes into both. 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So there is my scale factor, okay? And notice it says scale factor of DEF2. That means this goes in the numerator, right? Aside from it, this goes to denominator. The 2 tells me numerator on the left, denominator on the right. Numerator, denominator. Okay. All right. So now here's the thing. The perimeter of each triangle. Well, the perimeter of this triangle is easy to find, right? The perimeter is just adding up all the sides. 8 plus 12 is 20. 20 plus 10 is 30. So the perimeter of this one is 30. I'm missing both these sides. So I could find both these sides by using proportions, but here's the thing. I don't really need to find both. I just need to find the perimeter. And so you can skip finding each of these individually, then adding them all up by just saying, well, the perimeters, get this, the perimeters are also proportional. Also, same proportion. All right, so I know the proportion is, or sorry, the scale factor is 2 to 3. I know the perimeter of the small one is 30, which means I can go like this, and if I put X, this represents the perimeter of the large one. So the small one on the top, large on the bottom, small, large. If I cross multiply, this will give me my answer. Let's see here, 30 times 3 is 90. 2 times X is 2X. Divide both sides by 2. I get X equals 45. So the perimeter of this large one would be 45. Okay. All right, so there you go. There's the questions worked out as far as the study guide goes. Next, you're going to try some exercises on your own, see how you do. Hopefully you'll be able to get those answers correct. If you have any questions, please let Mr. Harmless know.